ones who I love.
All right, who can tell me what this video was about? Yes. What's your name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. What's this video about?
It seemed like the video was about women trying to meet the body standards and how much work they put in just to do that. And when it came to her question, she wasn't really prepared for it because she had spent so much time just trying to make her body look right.
That's amazing. You need to teach this class. Anybody else want to share what they got from the video? All right, all right. So what I wanted to do, again, like I said, I wanted to focus on a lot of topics that I feel like our young people don't hear, or our young princesses don't hear from a king. So I want to address self-esteem, self-image, and ultimately what I call the princess mentality. Come on in, ladies. I don't have, we're running out of seats. I need to catch the guy when he comes back. So I wanted to start with the fact that we were created in the image of God. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, of course I skipped right to that verse. The entire chapter talks about creation, but this is what I want to focus on. It says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. So what does that mean? That means that each and every person in this room comes from what? God, yes. And coming from God means that we come from royalty. That we are royalty. It's the name, the princess within. And also, self-esteem, self-concept, self-confidence. I've been a professional model since 2010. I am 5'9". So on a male scale, you have to be at least 6 feet tall for runway, and for females, I believe it's 5'11", 5'7", or 5'11". Like I said, I don't really know the female stats, but you have to be pretty tall, and you have to be a certain build as well for high fashion runway. There are all different types of runway styles. Who can tell me one type? I've already said high fashion runway. So if you don't know what high fashion is, that is the top standard. That's when you turn on E Fashion or VH1 Fashion. That's the Naomi Campbell, the Tyson Beckford, that's the Tyra Banks, where you're walking down the runway one time and you get like $15,000 from one designer. And every time you walk out, you get paid in the thousands for one designer. You know, the Gucci, the Prada, everybody, all those names you hear in the rap songs and things of that nature. That's high fashion modeling. That's high fashion runway where you have a height requirement. Then there are other types of modeling that I'm going to focus on now, also because you're so young, which are more so the fun types of modeling. Who can tell me another form of modeling or style of runway? Anybody? Now I'm going to throw out some names that are not the dictionary names of them, but as I've gone through the industry, I've learned to know them. So there's high fashion, then there's urban runway. Urban runway breaks down to different titles as well. Urban runway or urban modeling is what you'll see in Source magazine or any hip-hop magazine where you have the females, they'll mostly be in bikinis and high heels. Hello, ladies. Come on in. Come into the back. Thank you. I was going to ask somebody to do. Thank you. So she checked on chairs for us. Thank you. Again, urban runway and urban modeling is more geared towards the hip-hop culture and a younger culture. You also have urban modeling and skateboard magazines, things of that nature. Then there is choreography / battle runway, where you see groups like, I don't know if you've heard of one of my favorite groups here called Ice Cream and Cake. Anybody heard of them in Baltimore? Yes. So they combine urban runway, battle, and choreography runway. So that's where you'll see girls walk down the runway, stop, death drop, or vogue, all that type of stuff. Or you see the troops in formations doing different types of spins and choreography, things of that nature. And then there's just standard urban runway, which is what we'll be practicing later on today. Anybody excited about the show today? Woo! How many have never walked in a fashion show before? Raise your hand. So y'all should have fun. It's really fun. Like I said, the video I showed you is really deep, and I address those issues more heavily in an adult class because I don't want to scare y'all. But when you step into the industry, there is a different mindset you need to have. That's when you get into management and agents. You get into those things. You get into the business side of it. And as you saw Beyonce, I figured that video was a perfect depiction of the struggle that young people face, and specifically girls, when it comes to beauty, when it comes to self-concept, when it comes to what is beautiful, what is pretty, and what is my identity as a princess. We're in the thought culture, where our young girls sadly identify with being called thoughts and hoes and other names that I will not mention because of the age group. But the sad reality is these are the images that are presented to us in mass media. And even though Beyonce is the top, and she's kind of responsible for that culture too, then she drops a video like this, and it kind of explains the behind the scenes, and you get another look. There's a pageant queen out there, my homegirl, sitting at the front right by the breakfast table. You can stop by and see her and ask her as well. She can tell you about the pageant culture, which is an entire different monster. You also saw in the video Beyonce struggling with her body image and trying to I'm trying to use a different word other than grow up, but she was trying to make sure she fit a certain size. She was trying to fit a certain size, and beauty is not the only industry that does that. Sports does that as well. Wrestling, my cousin had to do that. They had to eat certain things or not eat, and just drink water to drop weight to fit into a weight class. So there's different things like that. But when you don't have a foundation, you don't have someone at home telling you you are beautiful, you are special, then someone outside can tell you anything. And in the fashion industry, a lot of times I see my female counterparts struggling with what beauty is or what qualifications are. And that's what I really want to touch on today. When you look at a magazine and you see the cover and you see a beautiful woman on there, she's airbrushed, she's slim, she's tall, and she has long, straight hair. That is one image of beauty that is broadcasted and sent out from one entity and one type of person that's high up in an industry. That's not the definition of beauty. And if you pull that young lady off of the cover, take her makeup wipe all that makeup off, put on a regular moisturizer, she may still be beautiful, but she's not beautiful in the terms of what they sell you in a magazine. So that's what I want you guys to understand. When you look on TV and see a music video, when you look at a magazine and open the book, they are airbrushed, they have on makeup, a lot more makeup than everyday. Runway makeup and print makeup. Print means for magazines or anything you look at picture-wise. That's what print modeling is. When you look at print and runway modeling makeup, two different types of makeup. Also, runway makeup is similar to stage makeup for like a theater production or something like that. But the point is, they don't look like that every day unless they walk out of the house like the Atlanta Housewives or reality show stars where they have a team in their kitchen every day before they walk out of the house. Nobody really does that every day unless they work in the industry, possibly. So I want you guys to really think about is, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to portray myself in my industry? And I use the term pretty hurts because it only hurts when you don't know who you are. And in this industry, I hear girls being told all kinds of things. You're too skinny. You're too fat. I've never heard a girl be called ugly. But then there are other ways to say things like that. The industry is very brutal, which is why I don't want to focus on it because I don't want to scare you, like I said. So please be aware. How many people are doing modeling in this room for fun? Like you just love the runway, you just love performing. Okay, okay. There's no right or wrong answer, y'all. So, how many people want to pursue this as a career? Okay, okay. So nobody, some people didn't raise their hand for anything. Y'all just was made to come, right? Y'all just sitting here, moral support. Okay. So I want to talk to those who want to have fun. And then I'll reference things on the industry side so you can get a contrast between the two. For example, when I was saying in the industry, I see my sisters struggling so much because in their mind, in their head, if they don't look like the magazine, then it hurts them on the inside. It hurts them, it hurts their self-esteem. And the audition part is what we're going to go over a little later, is the worst when it comes to self-esteem and our young people and our young sisters not being appreciated by an industry that they sometimes feel like they need to be in. So if you're going to be in the beauty industry, please understand that you will be scrutinized, you will be critiqued, you will be picked apart. You had a question? You okay? Okay. I would appreciate it if I'm talking, no one else is talking, sweetheart, young princess. If I can have your attention, please. Thank you. And so, in the audition process, for anything you audition for, you want to impress the judges. But please understand, you're only supposed to impress the judges with your talent. With your talent and with your professionalism. Beauty is a loose term. For example, you are not too skinny. You are not too fat. So when you hear terms like that, understand everybody that is a director of a project or a director of a show, and you go into audition, you may not fit their requirements for what they're looking for, but that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. And that's the struggle I see so much. Our women take it so hard. They feel like, well, I'm not worth it, or I'm not good enough, or I messed up. I should have done this song. I should have walked with this dress, or it's not that. A lot of times, even I'm an actor as well. In the acting industry, it's the same thing. When you go in for auditions, you may go and audition for a certain character, but once they see your personality, they see what you bring, they can pull out what they need for a different character that you had no idea was even open. So when you go to auditions for anything in life, and especially anything in the beauty industry, please keep an open mind that a no does not mean you're terrible. A no does not mean you made a mistake. A no simply means you may not fit a particular project. So, we've dealt with self-esteem. I want to read the definition for beauty. When you Google beauty, there is one definition that's at the top. It says, a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. Then I want to talk about the manifestation of beauty, which will lead us into the princess mentality. What's my time? 10:55. Okay, I don't have a lot of time. All right. The manifestation of beauty. Let's talk about attitude. How many people have walked into a McDonald's, stepped to the counter, and before you can even give your order, you have to wait for the cashier to turn around or stop texting or stop gossiping about somebody's weave or something like that? I mean, may not be the exact same scenario, but the customer service, the customer service was not what you would want, when you're about to purchase your food. Or maybe it's the hair and nail salon, you're in there and, you don't get greeted properly when you walk in. Those are the type of things that make a person ugly. For example, I'll just take that one thing for the lack of time. The person working at McDonald's. Possibly they don't like their job. Possibly they don't like what they make. Possibly something personal happened to them in their life before they got to work. But the point is, that has nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything wrong, correct? Yep. So, the ugly part is, if I don't like my job, or I don't like how I'm being treated somewhere, it's my responsibility to make a change in my life to make it better, correct? So while I'm at work, I show the beauty that's inside of me by greeting the person. You know what I'm saying? By doing my job 100%. Because in doing the job that I have now, I'm preparing myself professionally, mentally, and psychologically to handle the next level of a job that I really want. or a job that I'm really qualified for but just can't get to yet. So the beauty, the manifestation of beauty is in your everyday. It's in how you talk to your homegirl, or how you greet somebody on the street, or when you first meet somebody. The connections that you make is about being real. Again, I have to kind of speed up so we can get into practicing. All right. The princess mentality and lifestyle is something, again, it's not in the dictionary, it's something I'm teaching on. It's a mentality to understand who you are and being royalty and not accepting anything people throw at you. It simply means knowing who you are, royalty, and worthy of every good thing imaginable. Some people will tell you, you don't deserve, what you have, or you didn't work for it, so you don't deserve it. You deserve everything good that comes to you. If somebody gives you a gift, do you not deserve it, or you give it back? How many people are going to give back the gift? Right. Learning to accept the good things in life. It means not accepting anything in your life that does not equal positivity, promise, love, respect, honor, fun, something that's not educational or enriching, adding to your development. That is the princess mentality and lifestyle. All right, we're about to get into the end so we can start rehearsing or practicing. Audition tips. Anybody have an audition coming up for a show? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. How many people want to audition for fashion shows? Anybody want to focus on print modeling with magazines and photos? Okay. All right, so audition tips. Do's and don'ts, behavior, and have fun. Those are my points. The do's and don'ts, I'm going to talk about those real quick. Behavior, and at the end, you should have fun. So, when you show up to an audition, there are basic uniforms that you should possibly wear, even though you're having fun. You can never go wrong with wearing all black. For the ladies, you will wear all black tights or skinny jeans with heels. Anybody ever heard that before? By uniform? Some people are more lenient. You can wear jeans and a tank top, or tights and a tank top. So that's your basic uniform when going to any type of fashion casting, unless they specifically write out that you can wear something else. So when you go in, you have what things with you? Anybody know? Yes. Resume, headshot. Anything else? Yes. What is it? She said that she fell asleep. So I'm going to pass around what is called, like she was saying, a comp card. This is my old one. As you can tell, I had a mohawk, but I showed the different stages of my hair. So these are kind of not becoming obsolete. You're allowed to submit digitally now for a lot of things. And so a comp card had, usually it's a headshot would be huge right here on the side. There would be just two pictures, two body shots. But then there are different, because you could go to an agency or a show and they'll tell you that you need something else, or you need less pictures or more pictures. So it's really relative, but this is pretty basic. So I have right here is my high fashion shot right here, as you can see. Then I have my athletic shot. Then I have my headshot. That's called commercial, like something you would see in an Old Navy catalog or something like that, Sears, something fun. And then that's high fashion catalog as well, something like if you were looking at a uniform book, you would see like a 30C. That's something that could possibly be in there. What I didn't show you guys was a catalog that I was in for a fitted tailor designer. But I'll pass this around so you can also see. In this one right here, I have less makeup on. And this one right here, I have a ton of makeup on. Right there, I have a ton of makeup. Yes, men wear makeup. Your favorite rappers wear makeup. Every time you see them in a magazine or a reality show, they have on makeup. They don't have on what you have, what females have. They don't have on the primer. They don't have on the concealer. They don't have on all of that. What men typically have is they call it coverage, which is usually a pressed powder, but sometimes there's foundation too. So just know that when anything in the entertainment industry, when you see male and females in print, they have on makeup. So it's not strange. So I'll pass this around for anybody that's interested to see. When you go into audition, you also want to have your portfolio. There are two different types of portfolios. What time is it? Two different types of portfolios. One is what you might hear most, where you have your best pictures, your best professional pictures, like kind of like those, and you have them in a book. That's one type. But the industry standard portfolio is actually something called tear sheets, where you actually show your actual work. So some of the pictures I showed you guys were actually tear sheets from magazines that I was actually in, because casting directors in the industry want to see that you've actually worked. So you bring in tear sheets, which is actually your proof of the work that you do. So you'll rip out the whole sheet of the magazine or the booklet that you're in, and you'll put it in the book just like your regular pictures, and you'll present that as the work that you've done, so that they see your potential. So, with that being said, do I have any questions about anything I've covered today? Any questions? None? I know you got a question, right?
Question behind you.
Got a question? Oh, yeah.
And can you go over the outfit again? I think you said something about the black tights or something else.
Now, again, this is just standard, you know. So, in other words, nobody in here, including myself, is dressed properly for a modeling audition. Except maybe you, because you could pass for that. Standing up, I'm sorry. But what I see, because I don't see y'all standing up, because your shirt has a logo on it. You get what I'm saying? So when you go in for an audition, you can't have any names on it. Thank you, because I didn't even mention that. You shouldn't have any logos. Everything is plain. Even your belt. If you wear a belt, you got the Gucci sign, they may turn you away. Because your job as a model, excuse me, everybody, all the princesses, thank you. Your job as a model is to showcase the clothing that you'll be in. So they want to see the plain you, to imagine what you look like in that clothes. So at this time, if there are no questions, I want to start practicing or start running through. Yes?
You sew your clothes, you say you design them.
Yes, I hand sew. So this is a piece that was deconstructed. Like this shirt was a dress shirt. Then I took fabric, as you can see, I cut, and then as you can see, I stitched. You see? So, but I do make some things from scratch too. But yeah. Any questions? Modeling, fashion, makeup, hair. All right. So what we will do now is have everyone stand and come up to the front. Who wants to participate? Oh, let me do it this way, because some people, may not want to participate in this part. You are welcome to exit, and those who do want to practice, then you can just come and line up. All right. And thank everyone for coming who is not staying. If we could do that quickly, can I have all my princesses up front so that we can practice? Oh, thank you. My card is also on the table as well. And where is
There's a girl who made a house. Her mother wants to give her
She said her name is Nadia. Nadia? Where's Nadia? Oh, okay. I have to give you some information for your mother. She looks ready. All right, so everybody that's sitting down is not rehearsing for the show? Of course, I can't make you, but those who want to rehearse, I would like you to stand and come up front, and then everybody else can go to the next session. Say it again. Did you go ahead, or did you bring somebody? Yeah. No, I don't mean the parents. I mean the parents of those who are not participating in the rehearsal. Yes, I need everybody to either be modeling or at another session. And don't be nervous.